Welcome to the Smark Foundation podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
And we are here to give you the best and worst of AEW for the last week. Um,
Mostly the best.
Mostly the best, yeah.
We try to be honest, but we try to be positive.
True. Something I can't really be that positive about right now, though, is like it seems like the Meat Madness match is just dead in the water at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's sad. I mean, it shouldn't be, though. Like, there's still plenty of meaty men
There
that you have
are.
left on your roster. Some of them are injured. Might want to wait till for some of them to come back. Guys like Brian Cage, guys like Wardlow, that kind of thing. But without Powerhouse Hobbs,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
it was so funny because I had just a few weeks ago, I saw online that he had cut an interview with somebody who said he felt disrespected when WWE came calling for him the first time after AEW showed initial interest in him, but still hadn't signed him in 2020. And he's like, where I come from, basically, is like, oh, now you're interested just because you don't want me to go there. Screw you. So, and then he got snatched up contract wise by AEW shortly after that. I saw that and I'm like, oh, well, they must be talking about that because his contract must be up soon. And then this happens, and then like it doesn't drop that he's not only not renewing, but probably signing with WWE until like Wednesday. I think it was during Dynamite that SRS broke this. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't see it happening. I didn't think it was two-time former TNT champion, current, at the time trios champion for months and months, like in a good position, he had that great Falls Count Anywhere match with Hanger. Like he was in a good position. Like maybe he'd reached his ceiling, I don't know, but like I felt like he was in a good position, all things considered.
Yeah, he was definitely treated well on TV. I mean, there's definitely other people who are over with the crowd who don't get near the TV time he was getting. I guess I don't really understand the move. I mean, you're a big guy in a company that is not on average, not very, I mean, not your size, and you're going to go over to a company that is very much a your size company.
And bigger, generally.
And bigger, yeah. And so it's like you came through this whole thing working the big man angle, and now you're going to go somewhere where you're an average size guy. I mean, this is a company where Bobby
his
Lashley was
not average.
Well, no, but
even in comparison to WWE.
Yeah, but if you go, I mean,
but he's not super tall.
Well, Lashley was an average size guy over there, and he's huge.
Yeah.
So
dude has bowling balls on his shoulders.
Yeah. So like, it's just, I guess I don't understand the move. Maybe I'm a little butthurt because I'm an AEW guy, but I'm also not gonna be like, well, fuck him then. No, I hope he does well. I hope he gets over the same way Penta's over, or the same way that Ricky Saints is over, or the same way that any of our people are over.
I got a little bit of trouble actually this week. Fightful, they posted on their website, or on Blue Sky rather, they posted, if Powerhouse Hobbs signs with WWE, who do you want to see him feud with first? And I, having the skyline that I do, and being the snarky guy that I can sometimes be, I posted, it doesn't matter who he steps in the ring with first. We all know his first forever feud will be with the AEW fan base here on Blue Sky. And I did that because a lot of the people I follow who post most often are very hardline anti-WWE as well as pro AEW. Yeah. They're like that. If they go over there, screw them. With all that place being that place and with all this information out there, there's no way to claim that it's not an informed decision and you're aiding and abetting or or sympathizing or what have you.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of seeing those loud voices and equating them with the entire fan base. And that was wrong. And I got called out for it, rightfully so. But that doesn't mean those people don't have a point necessarily. It just means that what I said was not quite as informed as what I could be. And I left it, you can check it out online. I left it up because I fully believe that if you make stupid mistakes and you learn from them online, it should be online for everybody to see. If you get humbled online, keep it up. Keep it up there to remind yourself that you are not that you are not infallible.
Yeah.
And that you are human and that we all have things that we can work on and learn from. But yeah, like I got called out, and I was right to get called out. And I'll fully admit that. You can go and look on it your line for yourself. But yeah, the major tone seems to be more in line with how you see the situation. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, it's too bad that I won't see him anymore because I don't watch WWE for varying reasons. But I hope he's happy with the decision that he's made, and I hope that he's not squandered, basically, is more accurate of the general consensus online. It just, I guess, I let myself get tricked by the whole idea of the loudest people in the room being representative of majority when that's clearly not the case. And I should know better.
Yeah, I mean, good luck to Hobbs, I guess. That said, AEW did have a fair amount of acquisitions this week as well.
Yeah, who knew you could get 4 and then 3 Rascals, a Persephone, an Hechicera, and Andrade El Idolo, all for the price of 1 Chris Jericho and 1 Powerhouse Hobbs.
Right?
Who thought?
Yeah, so yeah, Persephone and Mascara Dorada. Both
Mascara Dorada too, yes.
Both have are dual contracted now to CMLL and AEW. We have the 3 Rascals, my absolute new favorite trio, already.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, of course it doesn't. I mean, yeah, they definitely have the right angle for me, So we'll see how that all turns out. Also, more to talk about now. Look, we can talk about it a little bit now. Our Call in the Ring this week. We're gonna talk about the trios division. A lot of you probably have picked up on that. The hints that we
tags and trios is what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So this is a good
doing research on it too. I was very surprised. Like, I forgot how deep this roster is.
Yeah.
I really forgot how deep it was because half of them are on TV at all.
Yeah. Or they're on ROH, which I do not watch on a regular basis, so I don't see a lot of these people. But it's like, and now they're coming out of the woodwork, and it's like, so we'll talk about this more later for sure. But yeah, I mean, this is a good segue into that. As we just picked up a new trio, and they, by all accounts, they have great in-ring work and stuff like that. So we'll see kind of how they fit into the AEW system and see how that goes. We already know Persephone and Dorada both fit in really well to the AEW system.
Yeah.
Who does that leave?
I mean, Andrade's already been there.
Oh, Andrade. Yeah, he's already been there. He does fit in really well. Looking super jacked this week. Crazy jacked.
Dude's looking. I mean, well, he was sitting on the sidelines for months with nothing to do but get yoked. So.
Yeah, which is apparently what he decided to do. He was like, I want to get up every day.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah, he looks like he got up every day.
He looks like a huge star is what he looks like.
Dude, I'll tell you, here's the thing. I love it when somebody gets shunned from a company or something because of something stupid. Like in this case, it was probably a personal relationship issue. It really probably was, by all accounts. Now, their business is their business. That's whatever. I always find it hilarious when somebody jumps ship and has to sit for a little bit and then ends up just changing almost their entire image. And for Andrade, the small changes he made, like strapping up his suit pants and becoming a fucking human fucking brick shithouse
Yeah.
are like the perfect example. Is craziest thing. Like I swear to God, I saw him. He took the jacket off, and I was like, oh my God, he's been holding up a bar of iron every day in the morning, and like, you know, like he's he like gets up every morning, he lifts a heavy bar of iron, and then he eats it to gain his power. like, like, oh my God,
he sleeps with the crossbar right across his chest, and in order to get up in the morning, he has to like lift it.
Yeah, he has to
lift 500 pounds off of himself.
Yeah, exactly. Like this thing, Jesus, man. Like this is what? Whoa. So like we've got so anyway. AEW, like Andrade, obviously taking the AEW turn seriously. The Rascals look like they're going to be a good time. I mean, they look like they're going to be a great time. I wanted Lexi Nair to go into the locker room, but like I was just waiting for her to just kind of step in. Like, I'm working, guys, and then be like, oh, okay, you know, because they're like, so are we. I Persephone and Dorada have already proven themselves to me. Like I'm already like excited for that to see how that's going to go. And in return, we lost a powerhouse Hobbs. Okay, I don't really care for that too much, but, and we'll talk more about this later, I think it's a net positive for the Trios division. And then the Jericho Vortex is missing from AEW now. It's gone. It's gone.
Yep.
We no longer will have, like, as much as we talked about how we missed him, we now don't have to worry about him coming back, forming a stable that's centered around him, and curving off a bunch of people's career trajectory for the next like 6 months or a year. You know, like we don't have to, that's not going to happen right now.
I think the most diplomatic way to say it is that there were mixed results with his stables.
Yeah.
And they actually help people. Like, I mean, you know, his work with MJF was good. Elevated MJF. I don't think he actually gets the world title without him doing all that. Or at least not as quickly as he did. Daniel Garcia is in a better place now than he was before joining the JAS. You know, would he have even been considered for major programs with the Death Riders, for example, if he hadn't laid the foundation of being somebody that cut his teeth basically, you know, at the no pun intended, at the foot of the learning tree of Chris Jericho? Like, I mean, I don't know. I think he benefited from it.
I mean, but immediately after.
Not immediately, no. But I mean,
did he learn some shit there? Yeah, absolutely.
He's in a better place than somebody like Action Andretti, though.
Oh yeah.
You know, who got a clean win over him in a shocking upset, and then they didn't do anything with him.
No.
And to be fair, Andretti didn't really impress really on the mic after that, and you know, I don't know. Like I said, mixed results.
Yeah. So now, speaking of Jericho, that's actually a perfect segue into the beginning of Dynamite, which started with so we got Dynamite. He started with Samoa Joe sending Brian Keith out for a bounty. This must be one of those things that Tony Khan's stuck on.
Yeah.
We see it. We see it occasionally.
It's a very old school way,
you know,
of doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not hating.
I think it's just what he's, you know, he was hyper focused on the money match for a long time, and now he's hyper focused on bounties. Like, I think it's just, if I had to guess, and I don't mean this, you know, disrespectfully, I think this is probably like just a neurodivergent hyperfixation.
Yeah, maybe.
He just happens to be really into this right now.
Yeah, and that happens. It happened with the money matches. So I'm not hating. We got some great matches out of those. So maybe we'll get some great matches out of these bounties that are coming about. But yeah, Samoa Joe sends Brian Keith, former Learning Tree member, After Hangman. I I was excited for this match when they announced it. I actually would prefer to see Brian Keith in a stable with Hangman, like a cowboy themed stable.
With him
I'd
and
totally,
Bandito. Yeah.
yeah, him, Bandito, and the Von Erichs would be
Yeah,
like a
any like cowboy types.
yeah, any
Yeah,
of the
like
cowboy types. Like that would be
call him the
great.
posse or something.
Yeah, and then have Brody King in there too, just because. Like just because.
Yeah.
He does wear cowboy boots, so like
He
despite like
does.
he does, yeah. Brody King wears cowboy boots, so like he definitely like sort of fits in, despite
Yeah,
the
kind of.
multicolored camo jacket. But of course, I mean, I can't say I don't know any Cowboys or Texans or anybody of that variety of people who wouldn't wear that jacket because that is an awesome jacket. Um, yeah. So I mean, that's a dream stable of mine. And every time I see Brian Keith, I'm like, he could be doing that instead of whatever he's doing. But a match against Hanger, I expect it to be good, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. After that, we got what I thought was really early in the fucking card: Darby Allin versus Pac.
Yeah, I didn't see this opening up the show.
No, I didn't either.
But I, man, this match, half of it was before the bell even rang, them just brawling. Well, getting ahead of myself. I loved the way that they continuing to incorporate Renee in these entrances.
Yeah,
like they did with the Continental Classic. And the funny thing is they did that with her with the other two Continental Classics as well, not just the most recent one. But it appears now that, I don't know, maybe Tony just likes it enough that he's continuing to go along with it going forward. And I like it. It absolutely separates themselves as like, it's like a football game where you're getting sideline interviews,
yeah,
or baseball. They do that with the coaches all the time too. Like it's a lot like that. And we got to hear Pac telling the Death Riders, "No, I've got this by myself. I don't need go ahead and say it back." We got that on the mic in an organic fashion, which is nice and refreshing. But then Darby just torpedoes himself out of the ring into Pac, and the bell never rings until they come back to the ring like 10 minutes later.
Yeah, like half this match happened before the bell rang.
Yeah. And it was, jeez, we need to talk about that belly to belly, that suplex on the stairs. That I felt like I was paralyzed by that for a few seconds.
Yeah,
jeez,
dude.
Louise.
Oh, that thing was so gnarly. Oh,
I was. My entire body seized up when I saw that. I was like,
right.
"Oh no, why?
Why do you do that?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, bastard! Right, got it.
Yeah, I don't need like. It's one of those things where I'm like, man, that was awesome, but at the same time, I'm like, this is why William Regal does his once a decade tweet. Like, this is the exact shit that he's like, like I just talked about this, right, guys?
It's like the Will Smith meme where he's like,
yeah, exactly.
Look at it.
Look at it. Yeah, it's I'm like this is that's the type of thing. Like, did I think it was like that it took me out of the mat? No, it made me feel it. Like I was feeling it sitting in my seat.
And it informed
hundreds
the
of miles
entirety
away.
of the rest of the story of the match.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Darby had to fight the pain and fight, from underneath the entire time because of that one move onto the steel steps.
Yeah.
Like it aided the match's story. I wish that they hadn't gone such a horrific route to get there, but it was part of the story.
So here's the craziest part to me. We from there we have a Pac and Darby Allin match. And everybody knows what that's going to entail. So we can skip straight to the end because this is where I think this is the most important part of the match, I think, right here. Besides the fact that, it's the end, but story wise is the most important part of this. Pac is such a competitor that the human cannonball, Darby Allin, has to go outside of his normal level of depravity and Pillmanize your goddamn ankle.
Yeah.
To stop you.
Whoa, hang on. A little bit before that, I think. The running awesome bomb onto the stage.
Okay, yes.
Jeez Louise. And that, first of all, I love it when they incorporate, if they have a ramp, I love when they incorporate it.
Yes.
It's like, this is something that you don't normally have, the ramp that leads directly to the floor of the ring. I love that. It reminds me of, old school, like 1992 era WCW. A lot of those, a lot of New Japan cards still incorporate that kind of setup. I love it. I love the ramp. So if you can do that, if you can incorporate that, I'm just going to love it even more. But it sets, just these little things, it sets up this part where Pac is so confident that he's got Darby dead to rights and he's willing to take the count out victory because he's already pinned him. He's already made him pass out. He doesn't have anything else to prove. So he just goes up and sits on the far top turnbuckle, right?
Yeah.
Darby gets back in, and that's when he jumps down off the rope and sells the ankle. And that's where everything else falls into place. It's so great because, how often do you hear of wrestlers getting injured from the most innocuous things? We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen it. Kevin Nash tears his quad walking in, through the ropes to get into the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon busting both quads, power walking to the ring.
Yeah.
Some of the most
Adam
horrific
Cole shatters
injuries.
his entire foot taking a 2-foot jump.
Yeah.
Off the stage.
Some of the most horrific injuries come off the most innocuous things.
Yeah.
So I love that they incorporated something like that into this match and that Darby immediately seized onto it.
Yeah.
He really, really had to. It put over Darby as not only tough, but as smart.
Yeah.
A smart babyface who was willing to go there. I really, really loved the story of this match for that reason. And then, yes, of course, that's when, he gets him in the Scorpion Deathlock, and Pac decides that, oh, no, you know what? I need my friends after all. And they get involved, and he Pillmanizes the whole bit. One thing leads to another. It wasn't just a sequence of stuff.
Yeah.
This was carefully thought out. And I thought it did an exquisite job of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, think about how that made, Pac's going to come back from this Pillmanization of his ankle. And how does he look then? It's like one of the best baby faces that the company has as far as win-loss goes. He beats everybody eventually. Even if he doesn't beat you the first time, he will beat you.
Yeah.
He had to, people are like, oh, Darby is sadistic. No, though. No, most of the bad shit with Darby happens to Darby, not the other way around.
His sadism is as a response to people's sadism against him.
Yeah. The flamethrower,
he's a masochist.
Yeah,
but you can't really make a case that he's a sadist because he only does that in self-defense.
People will point at the flamethrower, but I'm like, what better partner to have than a flamethrower when it's 6v1?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that wasn't to set anybody on fire. That was to keep them at bay.
Yeah, that was to keep them at bay. It's very much the only person who ever got real sadism out of Darby was he did try to drag Gabe Kidd to death. That he did do that.
It's Gabe Kidd.
But it's Gabe Kidd, yeah. It's Cuntface himself. So, but Darby had to go outside of his normal lane and be like, to put you down, I'm going to have to be outright sadistic. I'm going to have to outright do something really
Out-bastard the
awful.
bastard.
Yeah, I'm going to be really awful to you to do that. And so now it's like, how long before Pac is like a legitimate heel world title contender? Because it can't be that far off.
I mean, he's always been great, but since he's come back, he's been incredible.
Incredible, right?
Like he has been. I mean, I didn't think that. Remember when Mox was losing and it was like, okay, there's this, they're going to break and they're going to turn on him, which doesn't appear to be happening now.
No.
Whatever. But I was thinking, nah, it's not going to be Pac. It's going to be Claudio. But, because Claudio was positioned better than Pac ever was.
Yeah.
But the way Pac's been presented and the way he's taken advantage of the opportunities that he has been presented with, I mean, I was thinking, oh, it's not going to be Claudio. It's going to be Pac.
Yeah.
Pac's going to be the new leader. And I thought I did change my mind, and I thought that's where they were going. Clearly, like something, if he didn't change his mind, clearly I was just wrong from the get, which is fine. That's fine. I don't mind being wrong. But, man, you got to do something with Pac. Like at this point, I know we say that about so many people. There's so much talent on this roster, and I wish everybody could get something, for their troubles. Something they can hang their hat on. But I've said this before too. Pac is, he's changed his style up a little bit because of his injury or whatever. But honestly, he's probably gotten better because of it. And he really needs to be. I used to call him a dark horse in this conversation, but no, he needs to be right in the conversation with best pound for pound wrestlers in the world.
Yeah,
he needs to be part of that conversation every time it happens.
Yeah,
because he is right there. He's a top 10 bell to bell guy.
Oh,
absolutely,
easily.
No question.
Yeah,
and his promos are just getting better and better too. So
yeah.
I mean, if he was 5 inches taller, he never would have needed to leave the Fed.
No shit. But yeah, I mean, that great match. Darby Allin kind of going outside of his wheelhouse to be truly sadistic. Pac being built to be like, oh, hey, you're gonna have to be that way to beat this guy.
Yeah.
Which is huge. That's big. That's like, well, we're gonna see where that goes. Because I mean, I feel like we need more heels in the world title scene to kind of match up with these faces to keep some of them actually out of the actual title scene.
Yeah.
And Pac would be perfect for that. I would love to see Pac and Swerve or Pac and Hangman just for a while, I would love to see Pac and Bandito go at it for the ROH world title for a bit. I mean, there's so many really good feuds. Dude, wouldn't it? Yeah. Rule. So I would love to see that. But we're gonna keep going. Our next match, also really early in the card, I thought, was our aforementioned bounty match with Hangman Adam Page versus Brian Keith. I actually thought this was really good, man. I thought this was really good. I thought the match was really good. I understood what it was for. We were going to get some kind of story beat out of it. And we got a small one with, Big Bill, of course, tries to interfere because it's Big Bill and he's with Brian Keith. And, of course, Swerve appears and tries to hang. I hesitate to use the word lynch. But he tries to hang Big Bill, which you would need a 46
came
foot
out of
long
freaking nowhere too.
Yeah,
he just appeared like a phantom.
The only part that didn't make sense about that is that I could see both ends of the chain when he had it around his own neck, and then he tried to use that to hang Big Bill, and I'm like, bro, you really do need a 50-foot long chain and to be standing on the whole other side of the ring to hang that guy, because he could just stand there. He's almost as tall as the top. He's almost as tall as your fulcrum point. How are you? How are you doing that? Please, Swerve, explain the logistics of this to me, because what the fuck? This is the only ridiculous. I'm once again not hating. I thought this was so ridiculous, just this little part, that I couldn't help
Yeah.
but laugh. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, how are you going to try to hang Big Bill? Like, you literally would need a
I
running
was into
start.
it.
Like,
I was into it enough that I didn't question it, but yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
that's the only thing. Like, I have a really good, like, my brain will go to the most ridiculous thing in front of me immediately.
Yeah.
I Swerve came in out of fucking nowhere. That was awesome. It's like, hell yeah, Swerve's here. He's gonna keep Big Bill from interfering in this match. And really, it wasn't even much after that. It was like he tried to hang Big Bill, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. But then that was the setup to get Brian Keith. He tried to hit Hangman on the outside. Hangman shit canned him back into the ring, and that's where he hits the
Yep.
dead eye. And like I thought the match was a good back and forth. Brian Keith is a good hand, man. And that's one of
He
the
is a good
highest
hand.
compliments you
Yeah.
can give somebody in this business is that you're a good hand because
Yeah.
good hands make great wrestlers. Great wrestlers
Probably
make
got some untapped potential there.
Oh, there is definitely some untapped potential
You know?
there. Brian Keith hadn't, I mean, people are like, oh, he has a storied career in the Texas independent wrestling scene. He does, but I mean, like, if you look at like some of the other guys, like, like people who are really over who have actual, like storied careers and legacies that they're leaving, they've been around a lot longer than him. He's got time. He's still young,
Yeah.
and if Shelton Benjamin is any proof, like he's still got 30, so, like 20, 30 years, like.
I feel like I don't know what it is. Like he's missing just something to put him at like the next level, like the TNT title level.
He's
Like
missing that cowboy stable. I'm telling you.
it would be great.
He's just
Like,
missing something. Yeah, though. There is something.
I can't even really put my finger on what it would be, though.
I don't even
Like,
know that it's him that's missing anything. It may just be the stories that he's involved in or how he's being used that
possibly.
maybe
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, if they let him be the bounty hunter that he is on the Texas indie scene, like, that's a character more akin to, like, the Hangman from the Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Than
I think maybe
hunter,
you've hit the nail on the head here. Is that I think the problem is he needs to win more.
Yeah,
he's a bounty hunter, but he never collects on his bounty. He's not that great a bounty hunter, is he?
Right? How are you gonna call yourself the bounty hunter? You literally never get one. Like never. So I need that to kind of. I need maybe just more wins for him will be the thing. Maybe that's what's missing.
More singles wins specifically.
After that, we got a couple of backstages. We got one where we got Hangman Swerve and wait, Hangman Swerve and Kenny Omega all are in the ring together after
which was
match.
A moment.
Yeah, that is
loved this.
But I mean, what better way to signal to everybody like, hey, look how overloaded with faces our world title scene is.
True.
They're all chasing one heel champion. Which look, I'm not mad at this. Okay, you're telling me that at some point this is going to have to break down to get a challenger for MJF, and that so at some point Kenny is going to have to face Swerve and Hangman is going to probably have to face Swerve again, and that's everybody facing everybody right there. And you tell me I'm not supposed to be excited for that? You tell me you're going to tell me
I'm
Kenny Omega
excited for it.
We're going to run back Kenny Hangman Omega 3 or something like that now. We're going to run back. We're going to have to get Hangman Swerve 3 or 4. We're going to get Omega Swerve. You tell me I'm not supposed to be excited? I'm hugely excited. I don't care that these are face versus face things. The only way I could get more excited is if they put Will Ospreay in there too. And I know he's out right now, but he is coming back. So he's going to be involved in this at some point this year. And stop. I can only get so erect. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. It's a massively loaded roster, especially at the top. I mean,
God, yeah. Ugh.
You've got a lot of guys who are legitimate contenders. I loved this mostly because it's been a very, very long time since we've seen Omega and Hanger in a position where they can kind of tell us where they are with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Their story, their interwoven story was a huge part of the first 2 years of AEW, and 2.5, 3 years really. And since Omega has, he went down with diverticulitis, and in his absence, Hanger had this whole arc where he was a heel that nobody really wanted to boo. And after this whole thing, and then Kenny came back, and they never once acknowledged each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a very, very, very long time leading to this moment, and it was really cool to see that they were really cool with each other. Like, they buried whatever hatchet there was between them.
Yeah.
You could put whatever spin on it you want. You could probably the most logical and easy to digest one would be like, you got really, really sick and you almost died. And I had to kind of reevaluate, some of the things that happened. And it seems stupid and petty now. And as far as I'm concerned, we're good.
Yeah.
Like, that seems to be the most logical and human way to handle that, even though it went unsaid. But not only that, I mean, you see the look on Hanger's face when Omega is in there, and he's just like, oh man, I remember this. I remember the good times, and then Swerve's face. Ooh, Swerve was not happy.
Yeah.
It was like, oh snap, we got some jilted, jealous lover stuff going on here, and I'm here for it. I don't think you even need a heel turn from any of them to make this work. I think it's just, it's like Swerve's like, we've been through all this, and now like he just comes sauntering back in here, which he could have done at any point, and now you're all like the meme where the boyfriend is with his girlfriend, but he's looking around his shoulder to see the girl that's walking behind him. Like, really? Like,
yeah.
And this would continue. This kind of interaction would continue throughout this show and Collision, with how Swerve and contrasting how Swerve and Hanger behaved about it.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a running thing, and I really like that they're really attaching themselves to this, because it will be what sustains us when neither one of them wins the world title from MJF.
Yeah. As they end that though, we got Hangman and Swerve both kind of go, and then the Don Callis family interrupts Kenny's exit, and I really need Kenny to just run a hole through the middle of the Don Callis family. After that, you do what Daddy says shit that he's like, dude, that I think that made me legitimately angry. I was like, excuse me, the fuck did you say? The audacity on you. Yeah. Like, there are very few things that Don Callis says that I don't just find fucking hilarious. Okay. Like, cause most of the time the things he says, like, yeah, that like, I love a great heel manager, man. That's one of my biggest dreams in the wrestling business was to be a heel manager. And I never got to do that, but I love a good heel manager, man. I've studied the best. I've studied all the greats, and Don Callis is a great heel manager.
Yeah, he is.
Even more so, I found out on Wednesday when he can outright piss me off with about 10 words. And as soon as he went into that, you do what Daddy says when Daddy, that type, I was like, oh, I hate you suddenly.
All of a sudden, you and Amy Nemedy are on the same page.
Dude, oh, man.
Who's in the front row with her husband.
Yeah.
For this show in Phoenix.
But yeah, very suddenly, I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. Like, and honestly, I feel like there are a couple of times when I felt like, for sure, out of these two shows this week, that somebody at AEW is 100% listening to this podcast. Don Callis was involved in one of them. We'll talk about it a little later for when it actually happens. But let's say that it has a little bit to do with something we talked about last week, and I'm about to tear Don Callis a new forehead hole. But anyway, so he made me real mad, but Kenny, of course, plays him off. The crowd does a really good job of making Kenny not have to say a lot.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't really have to say a lot. We get our good night adieu, goodbye adieu, good night bang, and that's it. But we have a walking weapon match because Don Callis, after the daddy thing, I almost glossed it over because the daddy thing really did get me like emotionally. Like I was like, this motherfucker. But then he was like, you need to win some matches. And I was like, okay, can't really disagree with that part because what has Kenny been doing wrestling wise lately? I mean, he's been in some party matches, but that's about it. And he's like, you're going to face Josh Alexander, or you should face Josh Alexander. And then we find out almost immediately after that Tony Khan has made that official for next week. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about this. I like seeing singles Kenny Omega matches. Josh Alexander, besides putting on some really great promos lately, is a fucking great wrestler.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting.
He had kind of a slow start in AEW, but I'm glad that they're featuring him more often now.
Yeah.
I am very surprised that they can have that big a stable and have Don Callis successfully get not all of them because there are so many of them, but like each individual over in their own way.
Yeah.
He talks about Kyle Fletcher in a different way that he pumps up Takeshita, in a different way that he pumps up Okada, in a different way that he puts over Alexander, in a different way that he puts over Andrade and El Clone and Rocky Romero and Lance Archer and all these freaking guys. Like, it's different for every single one of them, which is a testament to how good Don Callis is, but it's also a testament to the support he has from the booking of those guys.
Yeah.
So I feel like, despite the fact that there are 11,000 members of the Don Callis family, like, he's definitely hitting. He's hitting for power and for average. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're average, if a good hitter, quote unquote, has a 300 average, Don Callis right now is batting around 450 with these guys.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, like, that's impressive. It's really impressive. But he doesn't get that without the booking behind it.
Yeah. After that, we go backstage with Renee. She's tracked down Brody King to see, what he thinks about Bandito's upcoming match. But he's immediately interrupted by Jonathan Cruz, who tells him to tell Bandito to never, I wrote this down. Do not punch, hit, or suplex him ever again. And Brody King says, sure thing, and smiles, but now he's going to beat him up because they have the standby match, which I guess this is going to be a thing now where Brody King's the standby guy.
See, here's where I had an issue. Like, your issue was the hanging thing with, with Big Bill and the mechanics behind that. Mine was this. It's like, what went short that would cause there to be a need for a standby match?
Yeah.
What went short?
Yeah.
Darby and Pac, most half of their match was outside the ring, and it was still kind of a long match.
Yeah.
Hanger and Brian Keith got a healthy dose of time. And that promo, as much as I loved seeing those guys, it was two sets of things that both involved Omega. And that went on for a while. What went short?
Yeah, I'm not sure what went short here,
like,
but
the internal logic there was flimsy. But I got my wish, though. More Jonathan Cruz on my TV.
Yeah. And
I got more Brody King being a badass on my TV. He didn't even take off his jacket the whole time.
So
he just squashed him about 30 seconds with the jacket on.
Based on the two bits of evidence that I have now, my internal headcanon says standby match means squash match. Because the part of
guaranteed to be short.
The part of Brody King telling him that he's about to get his ass kicked lasted longer than the actual match.
Yeah.
Because, like, literally Brody King came in, like, punched him into the corner, cannonballed him, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he Gonzo bombed him, and then after the pin he took off his ring jacket and told Bandito that he wanted him to beat MJF from pillar to post, and it'd be an honor to step in the ring with him.
Although he did kind of fumble a little bit there. Wasn't his best
Yeah,
promo.
no, it could have been better. Um, we take a look back at last week's stuff for MJF and Bandito. And then after that, we had a four-way tag match for a World Tag Team Championship shot between Mark Davis and Jake Doyle, Jet Speed, the Young Bucks, and GOA. And out of all those teams, I definitely didn't call the winner here.
Yeah. I mean, it's a way to get somebody established for sure. I think it's a little quick. I don't think they're gonna beat FTR, but it's the match itself was fine. Like it was fun. I don't think Doyle showed me. The only thing Doyle showed me that really impressed me was at one point. I think it was Speedball tried to hit him with a head scissors, and he did some weird like merry-go-rounds counter to get out of it, and then powerbomb him that I'd never seen before. Yeah. That was kind of cool, but other than that, it was like, okay, he's a big dude. I feel like highlighting him in a singles match to kind of establish to people like me who've never seen him before, like what his moveset is, like what to expect from him, that kind of thing, would have been a better showcase of him specifically. I don't know, and then it sets up a heel tag title match.
Yeah,
I mean, it's easier for somebody like me who's always going to root for FTR. I'm just always going to root for FTR. That's just
what's going to happen.
It's easier for me, but I don't know. I don't see that match having any heat when they finally put it on tape, because nobody's going to want to cheer for anybody in that match.
No, not at all.
So I don't really know. I mean, I imagine this was just to get Jake Doyle over to the audience, but even again, it really didn't solve that problem, because when you've got 8 people in the ring, there are only so many spots that you can do for yourself before you have to give it. Okay, well, now it's these guys' turn. To get their stuff in. So I don't know. The match itself was fine, and I don't mind a surprising result, but I don't know if it really achieved the goal that they necessarily wanted it to achieve.
Yeah. I don't know if it did or not. Or I guess it remains to be seen. The match is going to be a real banger to fucking overcome a lot of this, though.
Yeah. We did get to see Davis do that awesome pile driver he does, though, where he just deadlifts them into it.
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
It looks like it's very dangerous, but it also looks awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, after they win, the FTR confronts them, kind of breaks out into a brawl, but
again, no heat to this brawl either. Nobody cared.
Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, they can beat the shit out of each other. Why do we care? Yeah. And we'll talk about that more with the heel dynamic, because that seems to be popping up a lot. After that, we kind of see Skyflight in a backstage. They've got their new member Zeta Steel, but she's going to take on Maria Shafir, and Dante and Darius and Scorpio will take on Kyle Fletcher Clone and Josh Alexander on Collision. Busy night for them. Then we get to, speaking of trios, a trios match with the Triangle of Madness against Cosmic Babes of Wrath. Is that what they're calling themselves?
Cosmic Babes of Wrath.
Yeah. On the name, at least. I like all 3 of these people.
I very much like team identities, but if you're only going to team once or twice, I don't think it's necessary to have a team name.
Yeah. Yeah, not
You know,
everything needs a name.
team names are for team names and identities are for teams that are going to stick around.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right. I thought this was a pretty good match.
It was okay.
Yeah, yeah,
There was a lot of there was. It wasn't exactly. I don't know. It was. I hate to say the word, but it seemed a little sloppy at times.
a little
You know,
bit.
like I think miscommunications went in there. Like I love all these ladies, but it wasn't the cleanest technical display.
Mhm. The other thing I think is like it's really hard for me to see Sky Blue or Julia Hart as a threat to someone like Chris Statlander or Willow Nightingale. Like maybe Harley just
which is
based on skill
which is
alone, but
why I
like
think Harley took most of the beating in this
yeah,
match.
yeah, I think so too. Um Tekla on the other hand, proven herself to be, strong or can compete with the stronger ones. So
She
despite her
definitely punches
size.
above her weight simply based on her aura alone. Really,
Yeah, yeah,
like she's that girl.
yeah.
She's that girl. Like
Um, I thought the way this ended was kind of off though. So
I think
Statlander
it
gets
was.
she gets the blind
I think it
tag.
was just the wrong camera angle. I think that's really all it was. They went to the wrong camera and it didn't come off. It wasn't clear that Chris was taking the bullet.
Yeah,
And
but
because it
like,
wasn't clear, you didn't see with your own eyes. When they backed it up on commentary, it's like, well, did that really happen?
yeah. My thing is that like in the era of smart faces, you let Willow take the bullet because she's no longer the legal man, and then you roll up Tekla and it's over. Um, but she, as the legal person, took the bullet, which is like way off of like normal
Well,
tactic, I
I mean,
guess.
it makes sense given their history. Like they just reconciled. She
Yeah.
doesn't need any more drama of why didn't you save me? You were
Mm,
right there. I saw the tape. You know, like it mean story wise, I feel it was the right decision because you know, I mean, you've reconciled with people before?
yeah.
There's this renewed sense of okay, I need to keep this going. I can't let go of this again.
Yeah.
We just got back.
Yeah.
And I think this was indicative of that. And I liked that story beat. I really did. Unfortunately, it made Chris look. I mean, like you said, she ate it.
Yeah.
So
She ate a spear and then a stomp, and
I
that's
like that it wasn't the spear that did her in, though. I preferred the stomp
yeah, I do too.
because as good a spear as Tekla has, she's a little one. She's like
Hmm.
5'2", and
Yeah.
Chris Statlander is damn near 6 feet tall. And it's like, okay, your spear is good, but it shouldn't put away, you know, that babe. Like you should be able to put away Chris Statlander with that when you're that. But curb stomp will do anybody in.
Yeah. Yeah. Direct shot to the head, direct to
Literally.
the floor. Like, yeah, that's a killer.
Tekla could do that curb stomp on Mark Henry, and I'd believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark would sell the hell out of it too, though.
He would.
Yeah. After that, we got Renee Paquette backstage, trying to get a word with Speedball and Kevin Knight, but they don't really get to talk much because Swerve basically interrupts them immediately, and he's like pumping them both up and saying Knight's the future of the business. And then he leaves, and Renee tries to ask Kevin Knight about what Swerve said, but then Hangman shows up and basically says, hey, I've challenged the Trios champions to a match, and you guys are going to be my partner. And they're like,
I
what?
loved this because it shows the fundamental difference between Swerve and Hangman. Swerve is
Yeah.
there. He'll do the performative thing to look like the good guy, whereas Hanger will go in there and actually say, "No, I'm helping you," like because you're worth it, and because it's the fundamental difference between those two characters. And I think this illustrated it beautifully, and I think that's going to cause friction between Swerve and Hanger again that Hanger's completely unaware of.
Yeah.
He's going to be completely oblivious to it, and it's going to eat away at Swerve until he turns on Hanger again.
After that, we learned that the Rascals are coming soon to AEW. We've talked about that a little bit. We'll talk about it a little bit more. And then Tony Khan made that Trios Championship match official for next week.
Yep.
And then now, time for our main event. We've got MJF against the ROH World Champion Bandito for the AEW World Championship. And I still couldn't call this all the way up to this point. I was like, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I thought it was a killer fucking match.
Yeah, it really does. MJF's a fantastic lucha base. Like, he knows exactly what to do.
Yeah. He really is able to make a luchador look good and still look good himself in that, Bryan Danielson not being able to decide between the LaBelle lock and the yes lock.
Yeah, oops. Oops. I felt like this match was really, really good. I do like that they had Bandito pass out.
Yeah,
instead of straight up tap. Like, I mean, I know, there's a growing sentiment about, you shouldn't, see any shame in tapping out because, the real world, you're just saving your skin or you're saving yourself from an injury or whatever. But this ain't the real world. This is pro wrestling. This is theater, baby. Like, we're telling good guys, bad guys stories. We're telling morality plays. And in the morality play, the good guy shouldn't give up to the bad guy.
No.
Unless there's a really, really good reason behind it for a storyline perspective. In the context of a one match, though, like Bandito, whose whole thing is don't give up.
Yeah.
He passed out, which for the record is difficult to tell when you have a mask on. So they had to do the hand thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a hell of a match. But even better, I thought, was the course correct they did with MJF. Like, instead of going for the low hanging fruit, he's like, after the match, he gets in the ring, he gets in the corner, he grabs a mic, and he's like, you know what? He says, I miss, or I underestimated you. You are that good. You will be a world champion, which is why I have to do this. And so, so basically it still plays into his fear because he sees Bandito as a legitimate threat now. But that means he has to take him out judiciously, if you will.
Which, good story beat there. I don't think we're done with MJF versus Bandito.
I don't think so either. I think MJF does lose the belt to Ospreay in Wembley. But I think then we revisit this. And I think Bandito gets his win back.
Yeah. Part of it for me, because how dare you let that man wear ring gear that cool out to the ring and then not give him the dub, man? Was that shit awesome?
Yeah, that Aztec Eagle Warrior gear was insane, and I loved it.
Yeah, that is definitely
oof.
Oh, you should have left that for I love it. I'm glad we got to see it, man. You should have busted that out at Wembley and just waited till Wembley to bust that out.
Yeah.
That shit was so awesome. I was like, man, that gear is so cool.
It was so freaking cool.
When he came out in that, I was like, damn, maybe he is about to win. Maybe they told him last week and he was like, I have to have something really cool made.
Whoever designed that was absolutely 100% on point with everything. I loved it. I'm a kind of a little bit of a sucker for Mesoamerican history. I love that whole, it's tragic history, but I love learning about Cortez and all the conquistadores. I think it's a fascinating period of history, and Mesoamerica, pre-Columbian America, was just really, really fascinating to me. So to see something like that where not only is he embracing his heritage, but also like I saw tons of people on Blue Sky is like, what is that? Like, what is that sword that? And it's like, oh, he's teaching people who are willing to go and Google for themselves, teaching people about the culture too. Like, it's not just embracing it; it's being the conduit for people to learn. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. But yeah, MJF,
and then Brody King came out and chased him off. So you got to think probably before the pay-per-view, he's going to have a match with Brody at some point too.
Yeah, I think so. Probably. We'll see how that all goes, but I do definitely want to see him take on Brody King at some point. Also,
yeah,
see how he weasels his way out of that one.
I'm guessing a count-out loss.
Yeah, probably. With that said, good episode of Dynamite. I was thoroughly entertained for the most part.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, moving on to same venue, Phoenix, same ramp setup that we love for AEW Collision. And we kicked that off with Andrade returning to action full time against Angelico, which
and pretty much murking him.
Oh god, he killed that kid, man.
Angelico had a pretty good match just a few weeks ago against who was it? It was Hechicero, I think it was.
Hechicero, I think, yeah.
I want to say it was Hechicero, and like they had a great like technical match where Angelico actually looked kind of even with him.
Yeah,
I want to say it was Hechicero. I could be wrong there. I'd have to look that up. It's tough when it's like these matches that are great but don't have any real storyline significance. Like we're spoiled. Like I'll be the first to admit that I'm spoiled when it comes to great wrestling. It's like, oh, I love that match, and then I'll forget about it because it's inundated with so much other great action.
Yeah,
but unless there's a storyline attached to it, it's just I'm definitely not advocating for the WWE style of, hey, matches don't, wins and losses don't matter, the matches don't matter or whatever, it's the moments or whatever. But there is something to the idea of if everybody's great, then nobody is.
Yeah.
So like, unless you do something to stand out or unless you attach a storyline to it, I'll have great fun in the moment and I will be patting them on the back and giving them their flowers. But like that's why I can't remember who it was against Angelico. I remember it was Angelico because he's never on TV, but I couldn't remember his opponent just now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andrade just toyed with him.
Yeah.
Throughout like 90% of this. He looked like a freaking monster.
Dude, yeah. Andrade is like full Terminator mode, dude. Like he is just huge and he's like so jacked and just this isn't gonna be the last killing we see. We're gonna get some more of these for sure.
Why is he calling his finisher the DM?
No idea.
Do we have any? Is that a reference to something?
I have no idea, man.
Like, I mean, if you take it at face value, I guess the direct message.
I guess, but I don't know.
Which, I mean, that move, I guess, was formerly called The Message in WWE. So,
yeah.
Maybe it's a more direct message.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe he's inviting all the ladies now that he's single to hop in his DMs. I don't know.
I have no idea, man.
Either way, this was kind of an extended squash match for the most part. It really is. It's too bad because I do like Angelico. I really love his style, and I just wish that they would highlight him more.
Yeah.
Because like nobody else wrestles like he does. Like put him in a pure title program with like an extended one with Lee Moriarty.
Yeah.
And that I have a feeling that would get him over,
Probably. After that, Lexi Nair is backstage at the door of the locker room for the newest AEW signees, the Rascals. They open the door. A bunch of smoke comes out. Lexington is immediately contact high and has no idea what she's doing with herself. So they introduce themselves. Um, they're all elite. Smoke them if you got them. They're going to take on the best tags and trios. Another trio. We have a new trio.
Yep.
We're going to talk about this a little bit
It's
more
so
later.
weird because we decided on our topic for Call in the Ring like a week and a half ago.
This is
And
why I
then,
think they
like,
listen to us.
in the interim, they started addressing some of the concerns we were going to be bringing up.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think this is just another
I
thing
think
that I'm
last
like,
year's project was the women's division, and this year's project is the tags and trios.
I hope so. I hope so. Speaking of tags, after that we had Eddie Kingston and Ortiz against the Grizzled Young Veterans.
I gotta say, this was better than I thought it was going to be.
It was better than I thought it was going to be, but like I'll just say that I'm just not that high on Ortiz. I'm just not, man.
I
Like
just don't really know who he is.
yeah,
Like, he hasn't, like, to me, he's always been linked with Santana.
yeah,
And now Santana's gone. They had a little blow off. Santana won and then left for TNA.
yeah,
And then Ortiz got injured really soon after that, and he was on the shelf for 2 years. So I don't even really, like, other than knowing that he's Eddie Kingston's friend, I don't really know anything about him
yeah,
as a character.
yeah.
Like, I loved his silly, like, tiger style kung fu stuff when he had the wild hair and when he was with the inner circle. I loved that, his silly side, but, like, Nigel was putting over his his technical skills, and they were on display for a short time in this match, and they looked very polished. But it's like, I don't know, like, they're just gonna have to keep working at it. Like, it's just not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
But I have faith that they can get it there. You know what I mean? It's just not there yet.
Yeah. Ortiz and Kingston pick up the win after Ortiz uses a foreign object.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'll
So I
give
was
him
like,
that.
Like, is he a bad guy or what? Does he know that happened? How is that going to play out? I just, but still,
Yeah, like,
all I know about Ortiz is what I saw in this match, really. And I'm like, this guy, he cheated and he's a dick and he's supposed to be the face.
yeah, it was interesting. I'm wondering, like, it makes me think that they're setting up a story where Eddie and Ortiz are going to have a program with one another after Eddie discovers that and he takes umbrage with the idea of him needing Ortiz's help in an illegal way.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he gets to work with his friend either way, and sometimes that's more valuable than to a performer than being in a big program or whatever. I just get to work with my buddies.
Speaking of buddies, though, I mean, this is just another thing that we're doing that's not Eddie Kingston coming face to face with Jon Moxley. Like,
yeah,
the Death Riders thing at its height needed something really bad. It was that, and we just didn't get it. And now, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like that. I'm not gonna call it a fumble, but I feel like that they missed a huge opportunity there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, eh. But yeah, Kingston and Ortiz get the win after the forward object and the DDT. We're gonna see how that plays out, I guess. But a tag match with two tag teams that we don't see normally. So, hey, more tag teams. Cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
After that, we've got we kind of look back at the trios match with the ladies from Dynamite, and then we go backstage with Nightingale, Statlander, and Cameron, where they're kind of reconciling about the taking the bullet and all that stuff, and then Statlander kind of acknowledges that Tekla pinned her and continues to challenge her. So they're not finished. This 3-on-3 program is not done by a long shot.
No, it's not. I like that it was Stat calling out Tekla specifically.
Yeah.
instead of waiting around for Tekla to be like, oh, it shows, it speaks to the character that she's crafted, that, she's got supreme confidence in herself. It's like, okay, yeah, you got one over on me, but yeah, here, I'm going to beat you to the punch. You want a shot, you can have it.
Yeah.
And I'll beat you then when it's just one-on-one. So I think I'm of the opinion that Tekla should probably be the one to eventually beat Statlander. I didn't necessarily think it would be this soon that they would be crossing paths so this soon into Stat's title reign. So I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. The match will be good regardless, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of waiting to see how that pans out. I'm sure we'll get more inklings of how that's going to go over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So, after that, Tony Schiavone brings FTR out to the crowd. With Stokely still in a wheelchair. What was it that they were basically talking about Davis and Doyle and saying that, they came from North Carolina where the Davis and Doyle types are just the regular guys.
Yeah.
But there was something.
I believe that.
There was something.
I've been to North Carolina. I absolutely believe that.
What the hell was it? Dax said something that I thought was hilarious, or maybe, yeah, it had to have been Dax. And Stokely was just like corpsing in that fucking wheelchair. Like he was not holding the character together because he was laughing so fucking hard. Oh, no. It was because Dax asked Tony Schiavone to ask him what he hated most about these people, and the crowd immediately started chanting, "We have hair."
Oh, such a great
great
reaction from that crowd.
And you could see Stokely like in the fucking wheelchair, just like holding his head down because he is fucking laughing his ass off and trying so hard to hide it. He's dying. That was the best part of this whole thing. So we have hair response.
I did enjoy Cash in his saying, making references. Jake something Doyle, like
yeah.
It's like, I see what you did there. I'm not like super familiar with his work, but I know that he was called Jake something. So I see what you did there.
After that, we had Marina Shafir taking on Zeta Steel from Skyflight, as they told us what happened on Dynamite. This was kind of before that, we heard from Crew. They're going to be taking out Leo Rush, Next and Edge Ready are back. There they are.
Yeah. Last I heard, I thought that they were splitting them up.
I heard that too, but I guess not. Case. But they're going to take on the Rascals for the Rascals' first match. So there's how the Rascals are getting their first win. Then we see Zeta Steel take on Marina Shafir, and there were some definite flashes of green and some definite flashes of brilliance out of her.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential in Zeta. I mean, the confidence that she displays, is beyond her years, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she's quite at the level where she can really hang with some of the heavy hitters in this division yet. No. But I have, what I saw gave me confidence that she'll get there.
Yeah.
I mean, iron sharpens iron, right?
Right.
But yeah, as far as the match was concerned, it was serviceable.
Yeah, Marina, I don't think I get why this match happened because of the stuff last week, but also, Marina's not really the right person to be putting in the ring with someone who's this green, because Marina is still also green herself.
And it works for her because her gimmick is supposed to be like she's, this unstoppable badass. So she's not required to sell quite as much.
Yeah, but
and she is very believable in that role.
Oh yeah, I mean she's
She's
believable.
very believable, and
She just
also it doesn't hurt that she has a freaking banger entrance music,
yeah,
entrance
I do
theme.
like the entrance
Like
theme.
every time she comes to the ring, I'm like, I get real hyped up. When I hear that song, I'm like, yeah, all right, here we go, let's do this.
Yeah.
Um,
Um. Now
yeah, she
here's
gets mother's milk. Oh, Mox is on commentary too,
yeah, and he kind of puts
which
his
would
name to
feed
steal
into the
over.
next thing.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
Here's where we're gonna pause a moment while I tear Don Callis a new forehead hole. How dare you, Don Callis? You are a great heel manager. I have been watching you on television and in various independent wrestling promotions since you were the Jackal, and you were also Cyrus from the network when ECW was on TNN. Like, I remember you. Okay. I'm a fan. All right. If you ever insinuate that anybody in the Don Callis family has a legacy equal to that of Terry Funk's ever again, I swear to God, I'm going to find you and kick that forehead hole all the way down into your ass. Now, back to our
Oh.
regularly scheduled program.
This is
So,
why I love doing this show with you.
so as the Don Callis family makes their entrance for their trios match against Skyflight, um, Moxley and Callis are sparring verbally on commentary, and Callis kind of writes a check that his ass can't cash, and then decides he's going to get up and leave. And Moxley's like, "Oh no, you're not leaving, motherfucker!" And he gets up and follows him. And so the Don Callis family, of course, they come and try to defend Don Callis, and then the Death Riders appear. And here we have another kind of heel dynamic going on because, like, John Moxley is a face, but the rest of the Death Riders are definitely still heels. And they're
Yeah.
fighting with the Don Callis family, who are also heels. So here we are
Yeah.
again in the same show, like the same week, with more of this heel dynamic.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, if the fans are forced to choose a side, they'll choose Death Riders over anything Don Callis has.
Yeah.
As long as Don is still there physically during this program, I think that they will boo the family.
Yeah.
That being said, there's interesting things happening within the family, which we'll get to at the end of this match. But yeah, I think it's a weird choice. I mean, it's kind of an obvious choice in one sense, and it's kind of a weird choice in another. It's weird that it's heel. I don't really particularly enjoy that unless they are intent on actually turning one of those factions babyface, most likely the Death Riders. On the other, it makes sense that they would have enmity because they're both like it's like two packs of hyenas. And
Yeah.
one's finally encroaching on the other's territory. There's gonna be violence. It's just it's a turf war basically. But I feel like this is just treading water. Like, why are you waiting to pull the trigger on Mox getting turned on by the Death Riders? Maybe they lose this feud to the Don Callis family, and that's what finally pulls the trigger on it. I don't know, but it's like you keep feeding us these clues that there's dissension and that they're questioning Mox's leadership, and then all of a sudden he has that incredible run in the Continental Classic semis and finals, where the crowd gets behind him, and even then in that post-match celebration, they really only clap for him when he's looking at them, and otherwise, while he's giving his speech, like thanking the fans and everything, they're all giving him the side eye. So it's like it looks like they're setting up. Okay, maybe it's a slower burn than we'd like, but yeah, they're definitely like saying. And then all of a sudden, they have a common enemy now, and they're all back together. And like, I don't. I don't really get where it's going. So maybe
No.
it'll become clearer in future weeks. We'll definitely get an Anarchy in the Arena out of it,
Mm-hmm.
because
Well,
that's probably scheduled for 3 months from now.
yeah.
So
The only thing I can think right now is that like they're setting the Don Callis family up to be so heel, like you're so heel that even other heels hate you. Like you're
yeah,
so heel that even FTR and the Death Riders hate you and think you're asshole.
yeah,
Like those guys think you're asshole.
yeah.
That's the only thing
I
that makes
could
it make
see
sense
that.
to me. That's literally the only thing that makes it make sense right now to me. So we'll have to see how
I
the
mean,
story
the only
beats play
reason
out.
that they can match up against the Death Riders is because there's like a billion of them.
Yeah.
Like
Um.
that's the only reason that they would ever seem. I mean, with the way the Death Riders have been presented since their rebirth, basically as the Death Riders from the corpse of the Blackpool Combat Club, uh, they've been viewed and presented as nigh unstoppable when you have them working together as a group. So the only thing I can think is that like the only way to give that kind of a force a bit of pause and a bit of doubt in their ability to overcome this is by throwing them at a faction that has twice their numbers.
Yeah.
Like they're used to having the numbers advantage, and now they definitely don't.
No. No.
So
Um.
it might turn them babyface. It might mean that they just lose out in the end when people don't expect that, and then the Death Riders blame Moxley's leadership, and then they kick him out. I don't know.
No
I don't
telling.
know.
We'll see how it goes, I guess. There's a lot of story beats that could happen between now and then, so
Yeah.
we'll kind of see how that plays out. Unfortunately, it kind of due to story beats, what was a pretty good match just kind of got washed out, like by the stories. Like, so the beginning of the match is kind of marred with the Death Riders versus Don Callis thing, and then the match gets started. It is a really good match, but of course, Don Callis' family picks up the win, and then Takeshita comes back
Yeah.
and kind of snubs Don Callis on his way to congratulate his work husband.
Yep.
And that in itself, right there, is a pretty big
Yeah.
story beat for the Don Callis family. So it like the beginning of the match and this ending celebration kind of just
Yeah.
wash out
It,
everything that
it,
happened between them.
it built off of the weird conversation that Fletcher and Don Callis had in Japan.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I didn't even want you in the Continental Classic. I wanted you here, and TNT television, blah blah blah. And it's like sowing these seeds of doubt. It definitely looks like if there's a schism that Don Callis is going to side with Okada, and it looks like Takeshita will be bringing Kyle Fletcher along with him. I gotta say, to a degree, I didn't really see in the cards a babyface turn for Kyle Fletcher, but he's so good.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna start cheering him eventually. Like it's probably gonna be sooner than we even realize because he's just so dependable. He's
Yeah.
always entertaining, and like he's another one of those guys who's just clicking on all cylinders, and he's one of the best professional wrestlers in the world right now. And eventually, talent always gets cheers. So
Yeah. Right.
it'd be interesting to see if they do it or if they fake it and have him turn on Takeshita too, just to like kind of a Deadly Games deal with The Rock.
Right. So after that, we go back to backstage, and we have Lexi Nair back there. She's with Roddy Strong and Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe. And Roddy is talking about how he apparently had a victory over Hechicero Friday night at CMLL. and is now going to become the number one contender to Claudio Castagnoli's World Heavyweight Championship
Which
at
is so
CMLL.
funny because that means that the uh, the live crowd, because this was taped after Dynamite, the live crowd got spoiled on that
Right?
that match. If any of them were CMLL fans, it's like, oh well, I guess Roddy in 2 days' time is gonna beat Cesaro to become the number one contender for the world heavyweight title of CMLL. So
Right.
that's kind of funny.
After that, though, Briscoe, says that El Clone blamed Roddy for what happened to Hologram, but he wasn't, he's still impressed by Clone's win over Commander, and he's not ducking anybody. So how about they fight for the title on Collision? So it looks like we're going to get Briscoe versus El Clone on Collision over the TNT title. I don't expect the
Dude,
title
that match
to
is
change
gonna
hands
be
there.
dope.
It's going to be a great match. I don't expect the title to change hands at all, though.
Oh no.
Mark Briscoe has his very own snakeskin wrestling belt now. I don't think that's just going anywhere for a while. We don't just make custom belts for them to not get prominently featured for a while. So, yeah. After that, we take a look at kind of a backstage segment here. We take a look back at MJF's win over Bandito, and MJF, and then another successful defense at an indie place called Limitless Wrestling, which I'd never heard of before. And MJF basically stating that he's going to set himself up to be a traveling champion better than all the other traveling champions. You 100% know he's chasing that Ric Flair shit. Like he is 100% on his Ric Flair era right now. Hopefully he does it with a lot less sexual assault.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. After that, Penelope Ford returns to action. I guess.
Yeah.
We
I
just
hated how they did this though.
Didn't she just have a sling on Wednesday though? Like technically on this same show
on Wednesday
or the day before.
Show her on Wednesday.
Okay, so maybe the week before.
No, they announced this match on Wednesday in the lower third as a throwaway thing. Oh yeah, by the way, Penelope is back, and I'm like, shouldn't this have been like a bigger deal? Shouldn't this have been like, okay, book the mega problems, but then have Marina get on the mic and say, you know what? As it turns out, I'm not feeling this. But you know what? I know somebody who's ready to come back. And that's when you have Penelope like rip off the sling and be like, haha, I'm back, bitches. Like,
yeah.
I think it was a missed opportunity there. Like it was just like no fanfare whatsoever for her return. And I feel like that's unfortunate because like she busted her ass over the summer with all the rest of those women to be, to get the blood and guts to happen and to really kind of revamp what the division looks like, the character of it. And to have her just kind of come back with no hoopla, no promotion behind it other than, oh yeah, by the way, she's back. You'll see her in 3 days. At least do it a surprise deal where it's like, haha, I'm a heel and I'm not telling you I'm not injured anymore because you didn't prepare for this, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't seem, it seems like a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Pretty much a squash match here, though.
Yeah. They beat Viva Van, who we've seen before, and Danielle Camella, who is the former Vanessa Bourne in NXT.
Okay, that's who. I thought I recognized her, but I couldn't place her, and I don't watch a lot of NXT anymore. So
yeah, I mean that's from years ago. Like, she got let go, I think, in 2020.
Oh, wow!
So it was good to see her because that means that she hasn't given up wrestling, which is great for her. Yeah, that's good for her.
After the match, Marina Shafir comes to celebrate them, but they're interrupted by Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. Tony doing her, one of her typical body promos.
Yeah,
I like Mina Shirakawa, but I don't think she added anything to this, to be honest. Yeah, I just don't think she added anything to this. I like she's a great talent. I just when it's a Tony
Yeah, I
Storm
mean,
promo, like I
I
get that
would.
this was a them promo and not just a Tony Storm promo, but like let's just and this has nothing to do with her accent or anything like that or her English. It's just that when you interrupt a Tony Storm promo with other stuff, it's interrupting a Tony Storm promo.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that said, you can't just have her not out there. You
Yeah.
know.
No, I mean she
So
could be out there, yeah, just like maybe let Tony do the promo. Maybe
yeah,
I mean it's not a bad promo. She just together they it's just so different from one another that it's I don't think it jibes really for them to promote ten in tandem. But I am excited to see the Timeless Love Bombs take on Megasis and Marina and Penelope. So we'll see who
yeah,
the third one turns out to be because there's got to be a third one here.
yeah. You have to figure it. Um, I don't know who.
But I
I
don't know
mean,
who it
who?
would be
Maybe
though.
Windsor. Windsor,
Maybe,
maybe.
maybe,
I mean, we haven't even seen her since she beat uh Mercedes for the Rough Pro title.
yeah,
And the time before that, we hadn't seen her since she teamed with Riho in the tournament. So
yeah,
like she's been used sparingly, which is weird considering they were seemed like they were all in on her,
yeah. They seem
pun
like they were really
intended,
high on her. Yeah,
on uh during the summer. Like
yeah,
they Windsor was everywhere and for good reason, and she was getting over. Uh, but yeah, I don't know what happened there. But if I had to guess that there will be a third to help out the love bombs, I would guess it'd be Windsor,
yeah,
given recent history.
yeah. After that, we go backstage with Lexi Nair, and she's asking Swerve about the return of Kenny Omega and some other stuff, and he gets interrupted by Kevin Knight. And Knight's like, you said I was the future of business, but I'm the here and now, which I mean, technically he's right. Um, he beat Darby, he beat Okada, he is the president of the business. And
Yeah,
Strickland's like, you need to do something meaningful, like win a title. And I mean, I'm like, well, he's about to win that title for sure. So, I mean,
yeah,
if I didn't know on Wednesday that Hobbs was leaving, I'd have been like, oh no, he's definitely not winning that title. So this is going nowhere. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The
um,
news broke long enough for it to be a spoiler.
yeah. Um, after that, we have our AEW National Championship number one contender match between Jack Perry and Anthony Bowens. Um, I thought this was a good match.
Yeah, I thought they had pretty good chemistry
Couple funny little moments like Jack Perry biting Bowens in the
off
scissors.
of the scissor. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I don't really like Ricochet on commentary ever. It's not like me like not really liking him as a person either. I just don't think he's very good on commentary. Um,
there are times where he adds something, and then there are other times where he doesn't. Like
yeah,
it's real hit and miss there.
I don't
But
think this match was really
ultimate,
long enough to add anything to be honest with you though.
yeah,
So, but afterwards, Jack Perry catches the win with a super kick, and then the running knee. Ricochet's talking trash on the commentary desk. He gets dove onto by Jack Perry, and they kind of spill into the back, and that's kind of that for that segment. Yeah, like I said, the match wasn't very long at all.
yeah, it wasn't super long.
Which between these two guys who are both really over with the crowd and both good wrestlers, why the fuck
It
not?
looks like they're refocusing on Bowens. I mean, he got the kind of the pat on the back after the match from Jungle Jack. Um, it seems like maybe they're moving on from the not acclaimed deal. Maybe like it's hard to tell, but like he's definitely been in the thing with Caster. He was definitely getting booed more often in comparison to Caster, even though he was right.
Yeah.
Bowens was absolutely right to feel the way he felt about the whole situation. But like here, he was definitely positioned as a baby face. and and he was last week too in the trios match. So I don't know. Maybe they're moving on from the whole Max Caster situation. I don't know.
Yeah. After that, we got John Moxley and the Death Riders talking about the Don Callis family.
Pac seems okay.
Yeah, Pac seems okay.
His ankle seems all right.
Yeah. This seems like, I mean, it's kind of a typical Death Riders promo. We got Danny Garcia doing his emotional thing.
No side eye though. They were all on the same page.
Yeah, but John Moxley's ender there, of all the bad people in professional wrestling, I'm the worst. I love that, man.
That's a cold line,
it's
bro.
Cold as fuck, man. Yeah,
that was it. I mean, there's
of the really terrible people in wrestling.
Like, just the way that he delivered it too. He delivered it with a tinge of regret too. He's like he doesn't disavow it, but there is a part of him that regrets it.
Yeah,
and it was a really, really, I mean, the line delivery was great. The line itself was great, but it definitely, if you're really into promos, like I can be like, oh, this is there's subtext here,
right?
And maybe I'm reading too far into it, but I don't know. He's a little minute details kind of guy. So
yeah, I don't think he does anything accidentally. So
yeah, he seems to be very deliberate with those things.
Yeah, so we'll see how that turns out. But I think the Don Callis family is. I mean, they're going to do terrible things to Don Callis family.
If anything, I think that solidifies that he is a full-on babyface.
Yeah,
because bad guys don't admit that they're bad.
No, they don't. I guess we'll see how this goes. Like I said, there's more story beats that need to be told here for us to really see where this is going, and I'm kind of excited about where it's going, especially after this promo. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I was getting impatient with where this is going with the turn, but the promo was like, okay, all right, people like, what's going to happen? Enough to chew on until for a little while, Okay, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, and people are like, what's going to happen? I deign to remind all of you that the Death Riders are not beyond kidnapping people one at a time. And just taking them out systematically and or doing other terrible things to them. I mean, they could whittle the Don Callis family down to 5 or 6 people and then have
Rocky will definitely be first.
Oh, yeah.
Rocky Romero will absolutely be the first.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Poor Rocky.
Yeah.
No respect.
Then after that, we've got our main event. And kind of spoiled for us because of the news coming out, and we knew what was about to happen here.
The good news, though, is that the crowd probably wasn't spoiled because they probably weren't on their phones when the news broke. They were enjoying the wrestling that was in front of them. So the title switch was probably a really nice surprise for them.
Yeah, well, based on the crowd reaction, I am assuming it was.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, finally get the strap up Jet Speed, who even though there's tons of good tag teams have deserved some kind of recognition for that. Hangman Adam Page is back to being a world champion of some kind. It might be a trios championship, but he is once again, strapped up.
Yep.
Well, I deign to talk. I don't know about talking about this too much, because it all kind of leads into the Call in the Ring segment. But I thought the match itself, just to talk about that, the match itself was pretty good. I had a lot of fun watching it. The fact that Hobbs, while still being relatively new to the business in the grand scheme of things, was leaving, he still did the job to someone even newer than him. Not only did he do the right thing, he did the right thing with the right person.
Yeah.
On the other team, even. He's like, oh, hey, I'm going to go out of here. Well, cool. We're going to lose these titles. Okay, fine. Knight gets the pin on this one. That's the right call. That was the right call. Who got pinned and who did it? That 100% correct, both ends.
Yeah.
Because that's going to feed Kevin Knight and Swerve. And unfortunately, though, I feel like Kevin Knight's going to be the guy who Swerve takes out his hanger frustration on. That's probably going to be part of what leads to the split, because this is Hangman's teammate and fellow trios champion now. And now he's going to go off and fight Swerve, and Swerve's going to hurt him. And that's going to be part of the rift between Hangman and Swerve going forward. So, yeah. That was kind of the gist of it. The match was really good. I thought it was a lot of fun. Shibata just loves being nasty to people. I swear to God. Like,
yeah, he does.
Those, oh man, just, I swear to God, like I need more Shibata. I need more Shibata. The fake handshake into the headbutt. Like, not only how dare you do that, Katsuyori, but how dare you do it to the nicest person in professional wrestling?
I know, seriously. What a jerk.
Yeah, like, you fucking dick. Like, not only did you do that, like, you dick. The audacity on it. But yeah, I mean, I thought this was a really good match. I thought the right person went over the right person taking the pin.
Yeah.
It all kind of added up to a pretty good collision. I thought the collision itself was a really good show.
And furthermore, it continued the trend of, like, you can definitely tell that Tony Khan is trying to pay more attention to it, you know, and make sure that it's must watch, because, you know, a big title change just took place. You know, things are happening that have major storyline implications beyond whatever FTR is doing. You know, like, FTR is like the kind of the constant of Collision, but other than that, it's like, you know, the knock on it is that it's not exactly, it's definitely the B show and you don't have to pay attention to it, which is not the case. That was the case with Rampage for most of it, but Collision isn't really like that. Like, and now, you know, with these title matches taking place and stuff, it's really solidifying. It's like, yeah, you gotta watch this. Like, you got, if you want to keep up, you gotta watch this show.
Yeah, you definitely gotta keep up with the 2 hours, or it's, yeah. I mean, imagine not knowing what happened on Collision and going to watch Dynamite on Wednesday and be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That being said, you know, I mean, I like AEW. I think they're doing a really good job with a lot of this stuff. There's some things they can work on, though. But I think that's,
well, I mean,
everything.
Like, what? Like, do you think that they should, like, plan things out ahead of time more, or do you think they should call it in the ring?
Man, they definitely need to be more professional and call it in the ring.
Well, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. So this week, for those of you who haven't picked up on the hints yet, we're going to be talking about the tags and trios division, and also how whoever's listening to this podcast that's reporting directly to Tony Khan told him we were going to talk about this ahead of time, because they picked up on the hints that we were dropping last week, and they addressed some of the issues that we were here to talk about. So this might actually be a shorter call in the ring than normal, because we had a lot of stuff to bitch about, and now we don't have as much stuff to bitch about.
I mean, it's definitely heading in a correct direction. Like,
yes.
what I think the trios division needs more help than the tag team division. They seem to have, in the last 2 weeks, seem to have really pushed forward with the tag division specifically, despite the fact that the trios division has new champions. I still feel comfortable in saying that.
Yeah.
But if you look at, like, I went through the roster page and it listed all these tag teams. I'm like, how do they have so many tag teams? Because, like, none of them are on TV with any regularity. until you need them to get into like a title program. A couple of exceptions in there, but like, listen to this. You got your FTR as your champions. You've got, in no particular order, Crew, which were apparently back. You've got, Paragon, even though, we were waiting for Kyle O'Reilly to come back. You got Cope and Cage waiting in the wings. We pretty much are guaranteed that they're going to be the next champions. You've got Spanish Announce Project. You've got Brodito, Big Bill and Brian Keith, Hurt Syndicate, maybe the Hounds of Hell, depending on how Buddy Matthews is when he comes back. You've got RPG Vice. You've got Eddie Kingston and Ortiz. You've got maybe Private Party. We don't know. They haven't shown up in a year, but they're not in WWE, so they're probably still on contract, right?
Right.
You've got the Swirl. You've got Davis and Doyle now. You've got the Young Bucks. Butcher, the Blade just came back, so Butcher and the Blade will be in the mix. You've got the Outrunners, grizzled young veterans, Jurassic Express whenever Luchasaurus gets back, 2.0. That's an incredible number of tag teams, and yet really the only ones who like do anything outside of, or do anything regularly outside of the title scene, or Jet Speed and the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express before Luchasaurus got injured.
Yeah.
And then Hurt Syndicate before Bobby got injured. Like, there's a lot you can do there. Like, yes, some of them are waiting people to come back from injury. Okay. You can kind of fit. I mean, there are enough tag teams in this that, like, you shouldn't have so many that aren't on TV or have losing records.
Yeah.
Why are Big Bill and Brian Keith not a mainstay of the mid-card scene in this division? How are the Swirl not an up-and-coming tag team when you've got Shoddy Lee Johnson and Vanilla Baby, like, killing it? By all accounts, killing it in ROH. The Butcher and the Blade will come back. That's great. RPG Vice. Where's Trent? Did he get injured again? I don't know. Nothing was ever said. Like, Brodito just up and decided to not be a tag team, but be a tag team. Yeah. Like, they lost the belts and they're not even back in the hunt for them. What's going on? There's no consistency is the big key with the tag division. I feel like there's no consistency. You've got all this talent, and most of it never makes it to TV, but maybe once every month or so. Yeah. And it's only to put over one of the top 5 tag teams. In my opinion, what would really help, I know that this might sound excessive, and I know that it might be difficult placing it on the calendar. Big tag team tournament. Yeah. You have enough talent. You have enough tag teams to get away with it, which is not something that a lot of promotions can say. Little indie promotions don't have the roster to support many tag teams. WWE has the roster bloat necessary for it, but has never focused on tag teams in a meaningful way outside of a couple of pockets in their history. Not even New Japan, with their emphasis on, great in-ring action. They don't even really focus on tag teams either, from what I've seen. This is another way that you can set yourself apart. Something that did incredibly well for the first couple of years of their existence. This was the place to go for tag team wrestling. Mm-hmm. How do you do that now with all these teams? Tournament, baby. I know it's cliche. I know we have a bunch of them in AEW. They're like the tournament company stateside. But I don't see that as a bad thing. To me, there should be some kind of tournament running at all times, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Maybe, if you really want to highlight the depth of your division, and it's got surprising depth right now, maybe that's what they need is an excuse to get all these teams on TV at the same time, is to put them in a position where they're going to be forced into matches because of a tournament schedule.
Yeah. We definitely need something with the tag team division. Because there are so many tag teams, and I mean, like you said, Christian Cage and Copeland being there, like we kind of know who's going to be the next one because there's that revenge arc that's going to come. But there's so many freaking tag teams, like so many, and so many of the trios have like a tag team built into them. Like
Skyflight that's another issue. It's like I would prefer trios to be trios and tags to be tags. You know, like if you didn't have the depth that you had, I would say, okay, there's some room for some wiggle room here. And there are exceptions to that. Like, I feel like, you know, the Elite, for example, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, or the Young Bucks and Jack Perry, for that matter.
Yeah.
Like, those acts are over enough that you can kind of waive that principle for them. Because they're going to draw. But, like, trios, the division doesn't really draw anyway, historically speaking. Like, I don't think, I mean, they've never had a trios match, with the exception of the original All In, for the pre-AEW All In. I don't think they've ever had a trios match main event a pay-per-view.
No.
You know, for example.
I don't think so.
Like, I mean, they honestly, they shouldn't until the women get theirs anyway, but that's a different conversation. I feel like listen to these trios. So the new champions are Jet Speed and Adam Page. I'm sure they'll come up with some cutesy name for themselves somewhere along the line. You've got the Ops, because Hook is still there. You still have them in the mix.
Yeah.
You've got the Bang Bang Gang. You got the Dark Order, Shane Taylor Promotions, the Demands, assorted Don Callis family trios, assorted Death Riders trios, assorted LFI trios, assorted conglomeration trios. You've got the Frat House, MXMTV, Premier Athletes, Skyflight, Outrunners, and Dalton Castle. Like, there are trios here. The problem is most of them are booked like goobers. Yeah. Like, most of them are booked like absolute J-Bros. And, like, you don't build a division by burying 3/4 of the talent in it.
Right.
I think it's great that they have trios matches on almost every single episode of AEW television. The problem is most of those are with thrown together teams that aren't established as teaming together regularly. And the ones that do, like Skyflight, often lose to the thrown together ones.
Yeah. Yeah, like
which Skyflight is ass backwards.
A thrown together Don Callis family of 3 people that, even though they're all Don Callis family, it didn't make sense that it was those 3. You know, like it, and they beat a team that's supposed to be a trio. Like these guys are a team, like, and it's just the 3 of them.
And as I recall, I don't think they even cheated to do it.
No, I don't think so.
So, like, I think, the problems that the tag team division and the trios division have are different things. Yeah. For me, the tag team division is highlighting, the talent with reminding people that they're there with a tournament. With the trios teams, you need to have established trios beating non-established trios, and you need to do it regularly.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to have a trios match on every single episode of AEW TV, I am all for that. But none of this thrown together nonsense.
No.
Unless it's 3. I mean, you can make a case for 2 different thrown together trios based on storylines. Okay, fine. But if, like, ironically, the only real trio in the women's division has been booked the way trios should be. Yeah. Whereas if they're a trio, they can lose in singles matches, but if they're a trio, they should be booked strong.
Yeah.
The Triangle of
Yeah.
Madness, them spooky bitches are being booked well as a trio.
Yeah.
I don't know why they can't apply that logic and that presentation to more trios teams in the men's division, but they just haven't.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the booking of the trios is almost an afterthought. Like, hey, we need a match here. We have to do this thing, but we have a big stable. We're going to
Just
get
so
as many
weird
people as
because
we can on TV, but we're going to have this trio come in
yeah,
and face these guys who aren't really a team, even though they're, I mean,
it's so
they're the
weird
same
because
faction, but
obvious. It's obvious TK loves trios matches.
yeah.
So why is the division so ass?
Yeah. I don't get it, man.
Like,
I mean, yeah, they just added the Rascals, and that's cool. We'll see how they do with the trios.
yeah,
Maybe they'll get really over, and they'll have to, do that. But like, I also think that like the virtue of Jet Speed and Adam Page just being trios champions is going to bring more to that
yeah.
division.
I
But I
mean,
feel like they're also going to be fighting, unless they're fighting the Ops, they're just going to be fighting more slapped together trios of heels and
yeah,
not actual trios. And I mean, how many heel trios besides those assorted ones we were talking about earlier do they actually have?
right.
There's not that
I mean,
many.
you have the frat house, which are
J Brones,
jobbers.
uh, Premier
MXMTV, as
Athletes,
much as I
MX,
love them, are absolute
J
comedy
Brones.
jobbers.
Yeah,
Um,
Premier Athletes too, comedy
yeah,
jobbers. Even though those are actually Premier Athlete dudes, still
yeah,
because Mark Sterling, comedy J Brones.
yeah,
Um, because Sterling is a chicken heel manager, and that makes
yep.
his clients comedy jabrones. So,
Even in Dark Order, like they were, they're the babyface, babyface light flickers. Like it's
yeah,
just it. I don't know. Like most of these, Shane Taylor promotions always lose until they
yeah,
won the Ring of Honor 6-man titles recently.
yeah,
Like up until then, they just always lost, and then they're just those champions.
yeah.
Out of
And
the blue,
the
like
ROH
crazy.
6-man division has even bigger issues than friggin'
Yeah, I
the
wasn't even
trios
going to bring
division.
that up, but
Yeah, but it does. I mean, it's part of it because some of the trios that we're gonna see in the trios division come from ROH. That's where they're doing most of their
yeah,
work. So we're like, where do these guys come from? They haven't been on TV in a year, but they've just been on ROH where TV is limited and to subscribers, and there's just not a lot of those. Unfortunately,
yeah,
like I'll go enjoy an ROH live show all day, but they don't really come around here that often. I'm I don't care enough about it to pay what like 15, $20 a month to watch
yeah,
ROH twice a week or whatever. I don't care about it that much. Like
yeah.
the people I want to see on ROH make their way to AEW television.
It's too bad because I keep hearing great things about the renewed focus and sense of purpose that ROH seems to have. They seem to be really, really hitting a groove in terms of their, in terms of at least that's what I'm seeing on Blue Sky. A lot of people kind of giving consensus around the point that yeah, ROH is really, really good now, and not just the pay per views, like the in
Yeah,
between stuff. The weekly show is good, but I mean, I have trouble watching, AEW as it is
yeah,
with the schedule that I have, with the young kids that I have that don't want to go to sleep and let me watch TV.
yeah,
Like uh, I managed to make it work because I want to, and because we have this show, and I feel, not just that I want to, but that I'm obligated to keep on top of things, at least as far as AEW is concerned. But I don't really have the time for Ring of Honor.
no, I really
I just
don't.
don't. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
wish I
don't.
did.
Yeah,
I
I
really
do too.
do, but I don't.
I wish I had the time. I wish I had the money. I wish I had all the wherewithal to watch wrestling to consume wrestling like I did when I was a teenager or a
Yeah.
young adult when I had all that time. But like, yeah, I just don't have it now. And so I watched the 4 hours of AEW every week. Like I just barely squeaked in Collision before the football game today, which if I didn't know what was going to happen in the football game, I would have just watched Collision during the football game. Um,
Sorry.
hey man, we both got disappointed this weekend as far as football goes. I'm sure. So, yeah. So, yeah. Fuck the Pats. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, now, did they seem to pay attention to the issues that we planned on talking about here today at points in this week? Yeah, yeah, they did. Crew's back in the mix uh, to face a tag team that's made up of two members of the newest trio in the Rascals. Now they did introduce themselves saying that they're gonna, take on the best tag teams and the best trios. So cool. From the hop,
Yep.
these guys are in both divisions. Okay. Um, and now we've got new. Now, whether they really are listening to us and they were like, okay, we got to do something with the trios division, or this was just simply born of necessity, and they had to call that shit in the middle of the damn show. Like, hey man, we're doing a 5 hour filming, and that last hour we just have to change the whole thing up right now because we have to take the trios titles off of the current trios champions. Now, was that serendipity? Was that us just putting out into the universe, hey, this division has problems, and now um, things are getting fixed, much to our happiness, but also chagrin at the same time, because it's like, okay, that's a temporary fix. It's going to bring more eyes to the trios division, but then you go, wait a minute though, that's like Jet Speed and the main character.
Yeah.
Who beats them for those titles?
I mean, the obvious answer is it goes back to the ops, but with Hook instead of Powerhouse. But
I mean, that
you
would be
know,
the obvious answer, but I mean, is it though? Because you know how Tony Khan, like, who could it could be anybody. Um,
yeah,
But well, I mean, I guess we'll have to see how that develops. Because I mean, literally, all we have is that they won. We have nothing. This is Sunday night as we're recording this. There's no extra news about this. There's no dirt sheets talking about their
yeah,
intended plans with the trios championships. There's not a statement from Tony Khan yet about the departure of Hobbs. I'm positive there will be
yeah.
on some other podcast with 100 listeners. Like I mean, I'm sure. Have you ever noticed that? Like Tony Khan always does these interviews where he drops these bombshells and talks about shit he never talks about otherwise. Like not on the pressers after fucking uh, pay-per-views. None of that. No, no, no. Tony Khan goes on some guy I've never heard of his podcast and talks about stuff that I definitely want to hear about.
Yeah. Well, maybe that just speaks to his ethos. I mean, look at how he's helping to. I mean, he's sending his world champion out to go be a traveling champion and probable. He's doing global wars with more promotions than just CMLL. Like
Yeah.
he's doing with Athena's.
MPX.
Yeah,
MPX right
like
here in Texas.
I think maybe he's just. I don't know what it was or what the impetus was, but maybe he's just trying to look. I know that eat the rich, right? And there's
Yeah.
no such thing as a good billionaire, blah blah blah. But I would like to think that Tony Khan on the list of billionaires would be at the bottom of the rich that we eat.
Yeah.
Because he seems to be a genuinely decent dude, all things considered, for somebody who grew up with that kind of money.
Mark Cuban is 100% getting eaten before Tony Khan.
Yeah. I do feel, though, that maybe somewhere along the way with how WWE is acting, maybe it just awakens something in Tony Khan. And he's like, well, he's trying to monopolize this, and my favorite moments are from ECW and WCW when I was a kid, and Ring of Honor, and maybe it lit a fire under him, and he wants to basically save the indies.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, maybe not save, but like make sure that there's an indie scene before WWE buys everything up.
Speaking of that, speaking of indies, speaking of global wars, because I know we just kind of went over that global wars is like that CML is going to be involved, MPX is going to be involved. Here's a throwback, a show throwback, all the way back to season 1, episode 1. You ready for this?
Ooh.
Okay. Here's this crazy thing. For those of you listening, please pay attention to this, because if this happens, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Okay. Way back in season 1, episode 1, we maybe 2. It might have been 2, but we built the base of our own Fed.
Yeah.
We said if we could pick any talent, like it was like
It was
5
the second
talent.
episode.
Yeah.
It was the second episode, because the first episode was our journeys.
Yeah, our journey. So the second episode was building our Fed out of talent that we had picked. It was like 5 talents that we could pick, and it could be tag teams or whatever. The tag team I picked was a tag team called Best Picture, which is a little guy named Sebastian who's like a 5 foot something, little short guy, fantastic wrestler, great business mind backstage, great filmographer, which kind of plays into his gimmick. The other guy in that team, his partner, whose name right now is escaping me for some reason. I just thought of his name a minute ago, and now I can't remember it because that happens to me a lot. But his partner is the big, like 6'3", like almost 400-pounder I was telling you about that could do a layout moonsault.
Yeah.
Their home promotion is MPX. MPX is their home promotion.
Wow. That's interesting, isn't it?
I need to see this man on ROH Global Wars do that layout moonsault on someone and get his ticket to AEW/ROH written right there, dude. Like, I need that to happen. I need it to happen.
That reminds me, we forgot to talk about in the 4-way match about Toa Leona.
Oh my god.
His moonsault off the apron. What?
Well, I mean, we can talk about that a little bit here. He's part of a trio. He's part of the trio, and I honestly, as much as I hate Ricochet, an underused trio.
Yeah.
Like, totally underused. Now I get it. GOA is a legit tag team, but this is one of those rascal situations where you've got a legit singles and a legit tag team in a trio, and it's still going to be a legit trio. So yeah, I mean, do I need to, there's a certain focus that needs to be on the trios division. The tag division, there's kind of a path that it's on that kind of puts everybody else to the side to get to this point that we here on the show believe that they're going towards. Whether we know that or not, we don't know that. Yeah, it's just what we assume, because I mean, come on. What do you mean you're going to bring back Cope and Christian? They're going to disappear like 3 weeks later and we're not going to get this revenge arc? No, that is happening. That is absolutely happening.
And I would be absolutely shocked if it wasn't a ladder match.
Mm-hmm. But we don't have a similar course for the trios division that would justify this kind of pushing aside of all these trios. Adam Page and Jet Speed need to, at least the easiest thing that Tony Khan could do is, have them come out and say, we're going to be fighting champions. We'll take on anybody. And then have, run through all the little heel jobber trios. Cool. We can do that over the course of 2 or 3 weeks. And then start moving into more legitimate trios. Go ahead and face the demand. Go ahead and face, even if we have to go 3, 4, 5 pay-per-views, I mean, how else are you going to keep the belt on MJF if not keeping Hanger out of it?
Yeah.
How do you keep Hanger out of it? You have him hold for dear life one of those trios titles with Jet Speed and have a hell of a run. Go 4 or 5 pay-per-views where we've got, 20 weeks of them being the trios champions and taking on every other trio in the company and then some. And then, and that still leaves us, we've got a pay-per-view where they can take on the Don Callis family. We've got a pay-per-view where they can do the Demand. We've got a pay-per-view where they can take on the Ops again. We've got a pay-per-view where they can take on, maybe the Rascals, get a title shot.
Bang Bang Gang.
Or the Bang Bang Gang.
especially when Jay White comes back.
Yeah. So I mean,
that
we've
would tie into Paige just never beating him.
Yeah, because the Bang Bang Gang has a good trio with if you put Juice and Jay White and Ace Austin as the trio, and then we've got the Guns as the tag team. Like that would be that you could divide that. I mean, not separate, but divide that faction into focus. An act. So we don't have a tag team in a trio; it's a trio and a tag team. Yes. So there's focus. So yeah, I mean, there's several different. I mean, they could do a Don Callis family one 3 different ways. I mean, this could last all the way till Wembley or like right before, and they lose their trios titles, and then somehow Hanger's involved. But like, I still don't think.
I'd like to see Don Callis do like big Hoss team, like 3 huge dudes: Mark Davis, Jake Doyle, and either Wardlow or Lance Archer.
Yeah,
like.
Well, Lance Archer, I'm assuming because Wardlow's music can't hit without him getting injured.
Yeah.
So,
but like that would be something completely different presentation-wise than anything in that division. 3 huge dudes.
Yeah.
Like most of these teams have like 1 big dude, 1 little dude.
Yeah. Like, or 2 little guys at a powerhouse. Or like in the case of like Jet Speed and Hanger, you've got the main character and 2 fast guys.
Yeah. But like if you did 3, I like that to me, like that's your heel team that takes it off of them is the 3 huge dudes.
Yeah.
Like, because who's gonna beat them?
Yeah. And then you've got to compensate for that somehow. Which that would be perfect because like the Don Callis family could win it with 3 huge.
Go over them or something.
Well, the Don Callis family could win it with 3 huge dudes, and then maybe the Rascals, who all look like they're probably going to be fast guys, all 3 of them. Like, I don't see a powerhouse in that group. I see 3 dudes who are probably all very quick. So that's like the perfect antithesis right there. I mean, like there's plenty of like roads this could take. I think our general point here is that they need to get on it. They need to get on that road and start. Like, you've got so many titles in this company. So many. The women's championship means a lot. They've built up a lot. I mean, just because of Toni Storm but I mean, not just because of her, but like there's so much lore already in the 5 years in the women's title. The men's title, same thing. The tag titles have a hell of a history, and it's only going to get better. The longer FTR holds that championship, the better. I honestly think so. But Christian,
I think so too.
Cope and Christian are probably going to win their exiting title off of FTR. We've got a ton of good tag teams waiting in the wings to keep that championship legitimate. You've got the TNT title held by Mark Briscoe now, probably the most over guy in the company, period. But also, because of its time with Kyle Fletcher, elevated Kyle and the title to this loftier level than it was at. You've got the TBS championship, tons of lore there, especially with the Mercedes thing that just happened. You've got all these titles, but like, the Trios Championship and the National Championship both need some like serious direction. I feel like we resolved a little bit of that with this most recent episode because we've got a new number 1 contender to the national title and we've got new Trios champions. So it's a start. It's a start.
Also, I mean, the national title is brand new. So it's
it is. But they have to build some lore into there, But Ricochet won it. They did dick all with it since then, So like, I get that they want him to be champion for a while because he's the first, but like, until this last episode, a legitimate contender to that title hadn't really appeared, been posted up into that position. So now we've got somebody posted up into that position to be the legitimate challenger to this first champion. Okay, cool. It's a start. We've got new Trios champions on the other end of the spectrum. Cool. It's a start. And because, like I said earlier, the virtue of it being Jet Speed and Hangman, that's going to bring a lot more attention to it. They're going to have to feature it more prominently because they feature all 3 of these guys prominently on almost every episode of TV they have. So the Trios championship is going to be elevated even a little bit further than it was with the Ops, who were being, shown almost every week also. Just by the virtue of the world champion at one point being part of the Trios champions. So like there's this kind of upward trajectory for the trios championships, but it's a very steady, too slow of an incline, to be honest. Like, these are titles. We need them to all mean something. And when they don't feel like they mean anything, it's like, oh, those guys are the trios champions, big fucking deal. You know, and we need more than that. That's and
yeah, we do.
we got to give more time to that. Like, of course, I want to see Death Riders versus Don Callis, even though nobody's got titles. Of course, I want to see that. But I think that's really, honestly, except for Jon Moxley having the Continental Championship, I think that's leading more to a Jon Moxley Continental Championship thing than it is the factions pitted against each other. It's more like there's a one-on-one thing that's going to be at the center of that. I think it's probably going to be Fletcher, maybe. Don Callis didn't really want
Okada.
Well,
it'll be Okada, at least at first.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of different.
You want that unified belt back.
There's a lot of different branches that this could all take, and it's really, I mean, we saw obvious branches that didn't happen, and we got to eat a little bit of crow at the end of last year. So I don't know that any of the shit we're saying is going to come true, but hopefully some of it, you know, like at least the part where these titles are legitimized and built up like they've done with like, except for the newest title, every other division, every one of them, you know.
Yeah.
So even the Continental title has a hell of a lore now.
Yeah, you know, they're only on their third champion, but like, I mean, part of the lore is that long Continental title reign by Okada right in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Eddie Kingston's Triple Crown, you know.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston's Triple Crown, overcoming both Danielson and Moxley.
Yeah. After being written off by both of them, you know.
Okada defending it successfully in the next Continental Classic and holding it all the way until the next year, where they had that great through line story from the semifinals into the finals.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that it's a weird belt because you don't really know. You know, it's got the turning attached to it, but it's also like, where is it in the hierarchy? You know, like you can tell. So AEW themselves has referred to Kenny Omega as the first and only so far Grand Slam winner, and they define that as trios, tag team, international, specifically, and world men's world. So you have to think that they consider the international title the number 2 men's single title.
Yeah.
You have to consider that, because otherwise it wouldn't be in that grouping.
Yeah. It'd be TNT or something.
It'd be TNT. So, like, you know that the TNT, Continental, and National are all below that.
Yeah.
Where they fit with each other is really kind of up to interpretation.
Yeah. I think it kind of depends on who the champion is at any given time. Yeah,
like, I think it's more of a situation where the man makes the belt rather than the belt makes the man.
Yeah. How it should be.
I would say, given the fact that it has a tournament, Continental would probably be above the other two. National is too new to really call.
Yeah.
So I would put it under TNT for now.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the very least, they're on equal. At the very most, they're on equal footing. But for right now, I'd say, given the history of the TNT title in comparison to the practically not even their history of the national title, that's where I would rank them personally. I don't know what Tony Khan wants us to think.
Yeah, I don't either. They haven't really made it that clear.
Because, yeah, like, it's a little easier in WWE, because even though they have even more titles than AEW, they have a brand split. So you have analogous titles. The redundancy isn't really redundant, because you have a mid-card title on each show, a world title on each show, a women's world title. You know, like, you have all of it's split in half and they're doubled.
Mm-hmm.
and they're all analogous to each other.
And they have
As
certain
opposed,
levels that have
so it
always
doesn't feel like they have too many titles.
Yeah.
Because if you only watch one show, although I don't know why anybody would only watch one, it doesn't make sense because the brand split is dumb anyway. But at least in the context of each brand, nothing feels like it's overdone.
Yeah.
On AEW, all these titles are on one brand, and that's AEW. So it feels like too much.
Yeah.
Like I honestly don't feel there's a need for 5 men's single titles.
No,
I really
not,
don't.
dude. There's not. I was happy when they brought the unified title out, but now
like,
I guess I didn't understand how that worked.
Yeah, like the identities are, I mean, the world title is the main one, right?
Yeah.
And then the international one is supposed to be the workhorse title, right?
Yeah.
And then the continental one has its own set of rules.
Yeah.
And has a tournament attached to it every year. And the national title has what? Is it supposed to be picking up where the All Atlantic left off, where it's being defended on the indie scene too? Oh,
that's
guess
what I
what?
heard initially, but that's not happening.
Now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah, but now they're doing the world title.
Ricochet has defended in other promotions.
I didn't know that.
The first title defense was on an indie promotion, and then the second one I think was in CMLL.
Oh, see, I didn't know he was actually out defending it anywhere.
So, and then the TNT title is like, I guess, an open challenge title-ish, TV title-ish, but there's no like time limit on it. Like, I mean, I remember the WCW TV title, and the whole gimmick of it was if you were watching a WCW program on TV, their TV title was going to be defended.
Yeah. And it had a certain time limit, like 20 minutes or something. I think
there was a 15-minute time limit too, something like that. But like that was the gimmick. It was by definition a workhorse, or not by definition, but like by happenstance, it was a workhorse title because it was defended on every broadcast.
Yeah.
It was lower card. It wasn't the top guys who were really fighting for it, except a couple of times. Lex Luger being a prime example of that. But you know, that was an identity. TNT title it's kind of half that.
Yeah.
But it's not defended enough, and there's no time limit. It's kind of an open challenge thing, but that's really kind of up to whoever the title holder is at the time, whether they want to embrace that or not. Like, it's the face of the network. Okay, well, what does that mean? Like,
doesn't seem like it's on the network a lot.
Yeah, it's not like whoever's the champion is a renewed focus in promotional activities by TNT. You know, this is our champion or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's we got off on a tangent, but you know, I guess the point of it is, if you're gonna have this many titles, they gotta all mean something, and they have to have an identity. You know, with tag team and trios, you know, it's right in the name. Those are their identities. So, you know, they've got that one up over half of the singles titles at least.
Yeah,
but you know, you need focus, and you need to not bury so many of these guys, and you need to feature a lot more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the big deal. Really, is that we have this deep ass roster. We have the titles to fucking support this deep ass roster. So let's work it correctly. Yeah. Like, you know, then Tony Khan is doing a lot of things right. He is doing a lot of things right.
Yeah, he is.
But there's just a few things, man. And all we want is for it to be better. Yes, it's great, but there's always room for improvement on everything. And all we want is for the promotion we watch to be better than it is. And and it's not because it's bad. It's just because we desire.
No, I love it. Just, you know,
the better it gets, the more people will turn their eyes away from WWE to it. And that's kind of what I want in the end, is for everybody to kind of turn their eyes to the company who's not supporting the Nazi regime. To be perfectly honest about it.
Yep.
Yep. And I'll never tell you don't watch that shit. I won't. If you that's what you want to watch, if that's what you like, if you like that, I understand liking the wrestlers who wrestled there. I get that. I totally get it. I'm never gonna like deride anybody for watching it, but do I want everybody to turn their attention to AEW? Yeah, because the people I know who watch WWE have a little bit more time than I have, and they also watch AEW. So I'm like, hey, you can just turn over here full time. But I can see why they would be hesitant to make that choice based on like what I
Some
see.
cost and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we just want improvement and more people to come and see this product for the great thing that it is that we see it as. And the way for that to happen is for more crazy things to happen, for people to be like, hey, you got to check this out. Like now you could tell them, like somebody can tell them right now, like, hey, there's 5 titles. And they'd be like, oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But then you go, oh wait, actually there's really like 10. And then they're like, oh, that's a whole lot. Like, how do I, but then like, if you had somebody watching AEW for like the last, 6 months or something, like sometimes even me who watches every week, both shows, has a problem telling, like, if you were to ask me like, oh, hey man, who's the international champion? It would take me a second to remember that it's Okada. Like that shouldn't be the case. I should be able to run down and name. I mean, I can run down and name every champion, but the fact that at any point in that I would have to hesitate and be like, "Is it that person?" That's a problem.
It just indicates that there's a lot going on that maybe doesn't necessarily need to be there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you have this deep roster and you need the deep roster to support all these titles, but in ways the fat needs to be trimmed. And I'm not talking about like costing people their job. I'm talking about like in the broadcast and the writing, there's a little fat that needs to be trimmed to bring forth the goal. Because what is the fundamental goal of a professional wrestler if not to win a championship?
Yeah.
Like that should be the base of the base motivation for everybody, and then work up from there. But the base motivation is I fight because I like that shiny thing and I want to win it.
Yeah. Especially in a company that, at least initially, promoted itself as having a more sports-based, presentation style.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish they would go back to that too. Like go back to caring about wins and losses. Showing us the record.
Shout out to Mike the Mark, whose name I got wrong last week. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I was very, very tired when we when we recorded that episode. Your name is not John. It's Mark.
Yes.
Or Mike. Mike the Mark.
Mike the Mark.
Mike the Mark.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike, for helping us keep track of the wins and losses. You definitely make our job easier, because God knows I would not be doing that. And I'm not saying I wouldn't be doing it because it's not worthwhile. It's totally worthwhile. People like us use that stuff. I don't have that kind of patience. And I'm glad Mike does, because I'm glad Mike does, because I'm able to, keep track of things, and he brings up valid points when he posts this things like, hey, this person could be up for a title shot, or this person could be, based on their records. And I really wish he was right more often. Yeah, I really enjoyed that part of it about of them, pretending, or I hate to say pretending, but like the gimmick being that they were a more sports-based promotion, and that's why this is where the best wrestle, because this is the place where your wins and losses really matter. Yeah. And that might be part of it. That might be part of why these certain divisions have gone awry, is because they've gone away from that sports-based presentation of things.
Yeah.
So, and I know we are not the only people who want that, like, back.
Oh gosh, no, I can't. No, I refuse to believe that.
No, there's so many. I see it on X and Blue Sky, where people are like, hey, what happened to this? I would really like this. Like, even when it's not a huge topic of discussion, I see it being discussed. You're like, why don't they do this anymore? And as far as I know, we only got the word that they weren't going to do it anymore, and never really an explanation as to why not. So, but yeah,
like they still keep track of the records. You see them on the lower thirds all the time. But
yeah, they don't ever say anything about it though. Like they just
I mean, it's very
gloss it
clear
over.
that TK is a stats guy.
Yeah,
Very much so.
yeah. So why
you would
aren't
think that he would be able to find a way to make it stick, but I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just difficult because of the nature of professional wrestling storylines.
yeah,
You know, I don't know.
yeah? There's
Anyway,
a happy middle ground somewhere in there.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I personally don't know what it is.
No, me either. But yeah, with that said, that's our call in the ring for the week. We love AEW. I mean, there's always room for improvement. We're talking about a little about that here.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. Thanks again to our sponsors. We're recording this without it, but you'll hear some background music behind us talking today. That's a little ambient music from our friends at Go Rodeo and the Team Disaster Plan, a project that I am part of now. Production company who does music and movies and books and things like that. Check out Go Rodeo. Check out Babylon Sun on all available platforms. Both bands, different types of music. I'm sure you'll find something you like, though. They're both kind of varietous in their own genres. But yeah, there are our partners / sponsors here, and we thank Team Disaster Plan for providing the music that you're hearing behind the podcast, and also for being the first sponsor on board. Team Smark here. So thanks, guys, for that. Thank you for joining us. We will be here again, same time, same place next week. It's a shitty world out there. Seems like it might be getting a little shittier. Keep your head on a swivel. Remember that you're loved, and fuck ice.
Fuck ice.
Peace.
Peace.